Welcome back to Puff Drink Talk podcast. I am Hilton,
I'm George.
And I'm Arthur.
and let's get back, George. Let's interview our guy here.
Yeah.
After a little while
Yeah.
in Texas, what is his impressions now? And then he's been in some networking events with me, and
Yeah, it's been a month.
how things have been evolving for him.
Exactly, right. You're in college. You've got the college experience, right? The college experience, and also, lived in a different culture, which is Illinois culture, right? So, and then you come here and you are in the league, right? In the big leagues, because now you have to step up. Work on your end to get a job, and it's super tough because you're following everything you have to follow, and it's really tough to get into for international student to get into one of American schools in the med school.
Yeah.
It's really tough.
Yep.
It's reduced to very few universities who actually produce. So if you think, foreigners, international students and athletes are actually stealing places for America, you don't understand just how much tougher it is for someone to get there and also to adapt. You come to a different place. You are now you have much older people around you, and you got to deal. You're not having as much free time as anyone could think about that while you're doing that. You're super busy during the time. So how have you managed this? The anxiety of looking for the job, you're not looking yet. You have to wait to do that. In order to find a job, right?
Yeah.
You gotta wait to your visa, but
Yeah.
this wait it's consuming, right? And you are just meeting new people, just to build your network, and also trying to struggle to find a school that will accept it, and also your social life because you're young. And then Austin has this dichotomy, which is it's a big city for, and especially in the suburbs, for families, and then the big city is basically for young. So how do you navigate in what is your first impression after the first month? Your
First, it's hard.
Texas versary.
Yeah, it's like super hard to do with the uncertainty of like not knowing what's gonna happen with your visa, or not knowing if you're gonna get a job or not, or like not even knowing if you're gonna get into med school, because as you were saying about the numbers, it's actually like less than 2% of all international students that apply to med schools, they're accepted. So we're talking like 2 in 100. That's like a very, very low number.
That's tougher than Harvard for you guys.
Yeah, it's basically tougher than Harvard. Yep. So it's just hard. But talking about like life and social time and how to like balance everything, it's hard because sometimes I just want to leave and, like live my life and be like, okay, I want to do this. I want to go out. I want to meet new people. But I got to do essays. I got to do applications, job applications, like there's a lot of stuff I got to do. So it's hard. It's hard to balance everything. But also you just got to try to not be overwhelmed, And then your other part of the question, like the suburbs being a little more family-oriented. I kind of see that. Like, I'm not going to disagree because when you're talking off the air, not on live here, I was thinking and I was like, no, that's so not true. But right now, I can see what you're saying. Like, I feel the suburbs are like more family-oriented. You're not going to meet a lot of people in the suburbs. But at the same time, when you go downtown, you can meet a lot of people. Like, I feel Austin, like, compared to my experience, especially, like, living in, not the middle of nowhere in Illinois, but, like, living in a smaller town in Illinois.
Near Iowa?
Yeah, near Iowa. So the border between Illinois and Iowa. I feel that, like, Austin has a lot of life, a lot of social life. You can go out, you can meet new people, you can make new friends. So it's a good place to live. It's a good place for young people.
If you have a car.
If you have, because everything is so far away. Yeah, living in Round Rock, oh, come on. That's like, it's so far away from downtown, and that's like a problem. But if you can move around and you can go out and like go to 6th Street or like go anywhere, like I'm sure you're going to meet a lot of people. there's a lot of outdoor activities there, like a lot of young people are doing, so that's also nice, like Lake Travis or any place you can kayak or just go for a hike or for a walk or just sit
Zucker
down.
Park.
Yeah, just sit down in Zico Park. I've done that like last weekend, so it's just amazing. It's nice, so there's a lot of stuff you can do. So I feel it's not like an old city at all.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I was just comparing this, just to compare that. And what were your favorite activities? What do you like the most regarding your first month here?
Oh, that's a tough question. I would say definitely the podcast.
Goodness!
Yeah,
Yes, every Sunday we are here.
Yeah, that's amazing. Like the
Yeah.
experience of being
Man's
here,
cave.
talking. Yeah, like just smoking a cigar, drinking like one of the best whiskeys I've ever had. Like, come on, that's like an amazing experience. As I always tell George and Hilton, like I feel that we're just recording, but we're talking like with our 3 friends here talking. So we could literally sit down anywhere and record it, and it would be amazing. So that's really nice. But also like the Puff Drink Talk, like the networking event or any other networking event I've been with Hilton, like it's amazing. It's so nice that like people are networking and they're like going there and they're like so welcoming too. Like, so I don't know. Just
Tell about this Puff Drink Talk network that happened 2 days ago. I'm sorry, on
Yeah, it's
June
the
26th.
Yeah, the last Friday of the month.
Yes.
So, the Puff Drink Talk is not only a podcast, which you can subscribe to
like.
watch, but also we run monthly events. So, it's the last Friday of the month, and then we have like Brazilian steaks, pork ribs, all Brazilian style. And, we smoke cigars. It's open network,
Yeah.
the whole way. And there's charity involved, so we always donate money to charity during the event. They're trying to make a difference in the community, because the non-profits that we kind of are the beneficiaries of the donations that we do, they're all local here.
yeah,
So they don't have much of a chance to participate in the high numbers of donations from other institutions, because they're local, they're small, and they're trying to make a difference in Austin, in the Austin area.
And as a
So-
small business owner, myself, I miss this community. I miss this community, and I have firsthand. I can tell because I've been coming here to Ballerini for over 3 years, right? So we started with the Batedeira Cast, first podcast that I was part of. Then I was invited to join the Puff Drink Talk. I've been here to Loose Cannons, like I want to be more often there if possible, because I really enjoy going there. Becky and Charles
Loose
are
Cannons
awesome.
has guests lined up until November.
Yeah,
oh my
okay.
God.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
How it is. But again, Loose Cannons it's 3 of the highest, most influential networkers, which is Charles, me, and Becky. in networking here in Central Texas. So yeah, it's been great as podcast goes. And I brought Arthur to some of the networking groups, and every single time he has found someone to talk to, and having one-to-ones.
Yeah.
and
The
whatnot.
willingness of people to help you, it's amazing.
Yeah,
like to
that-
have a conversation, because that's what you're doing. Like
Yeah.
you're putting yourself out there, talking to people, and just this idea of having a small community, helping each other. Like you learn much more than just the contacts you make. Like you see, look at this, how these guys are selling or pitching. You see how these guys are, really willing, genuinely willing to share, right? So definitely, that. Do you feel that?
Especially like because you go to all those networking events and they're like all business owners that have like they're good, they've been at business like strong business, or like they're offering something, and then I'm there and I'm just a college student with maybe not that much to offer as them, and they're still like being very welcoming to me, and they're talking to me and they're offering me stuff and like telling me, oh, you have this opportunity, you have that opportunity,
Checking on you.
yeah. And that's like amazing because you feel like you're welcome there. You feel like people are trying to help you, and I don't know. I just love the community. And
That's
like
Texas, baby.
Yeah.
How has it been the experience with some of the one-to-ones you had?
they're being really nice. Like also people are like so welcoming. They're like, oh yeah, let me help you with this. Let me take you to this other network that's gonna help you. And you know, like I don't know. I love the experience. I love the networking community and like how people like. From me being like just graduated from college, I've never thought that the networking community would be that as strong as that. You know, like I always thought people would be like, "Oh, you have nothing to add to me, so I'm never gonna talk to you." You know, and people are always looking like, you know, "Oh yeah, this guy can be something." You know, like they're looking there and they're like trying to help other people, and I just love that sense because sometimes I stop believing in humanity. You know, like I'm like, "Oh no, they're all like." People just want the best for them, and I'm still like seeing like, oh my god, people are actually like looking for other people, and they're like, okay, I can help this person, you know.
If you stay online only, and probably that's all you see. But once you get the in person,
Yeah,
you know, and then you see that we are just people trying to make it,
yeah,
and we also see other people that also trying to make it.
yeah,
Right, and then, yeah. I mean, I'm curious about. For example, you had one-to-one with Claudia Ochoa,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Claudia, shout out to you. She was like, I want to talk to you. I want to have a nerd conversation about biology and
Yeah.
other things. And it was like, and then she came to me. It's like, Arthur is awesome. Had a great conversation. I was like,
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's cool.
it was an amazing conversation. Her like, come on, when she told me, oh, let's have a one-on-one, I was like, why does a real estate person wants to talk with like a biology graduate that want to go to med school? And then we started talking, and she was like, we literally nerd out on like some topics, and it was amazing, And then she was also, oh yeah, I have this person that I can connect you with, and you can like see if you have an opportunity. Then she was like, I can bring you to this networking that has like a lot of doctors, And I was just like, that's amazing. I was not expecting this from her, so.
Here's my 2 cents on this. You're going to go through interviews. You're going to go through a lot of, very soon, right? And these conversations improves your pitch, improves the way you communicate. So you're developing communication skills, soft skills, just checking how people struggle, how people thrive. And all these experiences will definitely, very few people are, I doubt, okay, they have different connections, but the way you're seeing things, you're seeing the mid-America. This is Midwest America. If you see the South, but I don't know how you qualify that, but the small business, you see that how much they are working hard, grinding. And I think it gives you this perspective. You see, you're meeting people that are really, this is not, I think the profile from networkers is different from regular other business owners, because you see those people want to connect, they want to develop,
Yep.
You are, and I think this is a great school for you, like being exposed to this, a future doctor, being exposed to communicate. And also you are going to deal with, you have to deal with patients. It's all about listening, like listening carefully, actively, learning how to ask the right questions. They are going to ask you, asking you questions. They say, okay, this is how we proceed here. And you are learning at a very early, think about if you had this at the age of 22. All this experience at the age of 22.
Yeah, I
You are
did not have
32
that
right now, so
opportunity.
10 years. That'll be 10 years of experience.
32. That is one thing that is beneficial, and why people would be interested in talking to you also is they know that you have nothing to sell to them. So they know that they will have a meeting with you with a true conversation instead of like, trying to hear somebody trying to sell them something.
Yeah.
Because you find that in networking sometimes.
Yeah.
On a one-to-one meeting, it's like, people want to sell it to you. And then, people also that understand networking the way it is and how it should be, because you don't sell to the room, you sell through the room.
Yeah.
There's one more thing.
And the relationship that you create, it's pretty much like to be able to get referrals, not to get that person as a customer. So and then you don't offer that to them because you're not selling anything.
Yeah, and that's why like it impressed me a lot in that working community, because I always saw it as like, oh, someone trying to sell something for me, and they're just like, oh yeah, just go and do my service, and it's not like that. You're having honest conversations and like building a connection with the other person, or like a relationship with the other person, and that's where like I was like so impressed, and that's like the best way to sell your business, like. If you just come to me and you're like just trying to sell a product, I'll be like, okay, maybe he's a good guy with that line of work, but I don't know anything else about him. But now if you come to me and you talk to me and you're like, oh yeah, I do this, and you show me your personal side and you just have a true conversation, I feel that I'll refer to you like a business way easier, because I'll be like, okay, I don't know, probably that person is really good at his business because he's amazing connecting with people. So of course, the first thing I'm going to think is like, oh, if I have anyone that needs their floor done, I'm going to talk to Hilton, like I'm not going to even think about it. And
Top of mind.
Yeah, and it's not even because I've never seen any job of you. I've never seen a job that you've done. But I know that like you're an amazing person, so I know you're going to do an amazing job of
Are
working,
you going to treat me the same way you curate your events, your podcast, the way you treat me? Yes, I will sign for that. But I want to highlight camera on me here. Claudia, right? Claudia Salazar?
Claudia Ochoa.
Ochoa. Claudia, I'm sorry. Claudia Ochoa. You can take this out later. Claudia Ochoa, look, this guy is going to make a lot of money, so I am sure he's going to buy many properties in many states in the United States in the future. So you're going to be a top of mind. So, yeah, I know you didn't do that because of that, but that's gonna be a subproduct of of all your dedication, to be there when he needed the most. He won't forget that.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's always like this. So you also had Vern was like connecting you with his wife, because she is always interviewing like for medical assistant.
Yep.
Yeah. So. This is the kind of things like people they will always try to help, because people are normally good, right? You don't want to think about people are not good, but if you're only online and looking at whatever the algorithm is going to give you in Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is, YouTube, shorts, whatever it is, right? You end up like seeing a lot of the bad side of people.
Yeah, and that's why like I love the networking, because it showed me the good side of people, and you're not used to it. Like just being graduated from college, like you make a lot of good friends and have a lot of networking, but at the same time, like people are just looking at grades and they're like, oh, you have a good resume, okay, fine, yeah, I'm gonna hire you. But if you have a bad resume, okay, I'm not gonna hire you. And it's all the online stuff, all the numbers. But here you're creating a connection. You're learning more about the person. You're like, okay, you're not just a number. You're someone, and that's amazing. Like, it makes me believe in.
And there's another point here for you listeners, right? Think about everything he's going through. This is the international foreign people that are striving in the U.S. When they say that this country was built on bringing foreigners to work. Right, so look at all the work ethics, the time you're putting there. People hire professionals that is spent, and then Americans would have to spend thousands of dollars even for have. And Arthur is doing this on his own. You see, so look at everything you have to come across, all the journey you have to do in order to get there. I think everything was written in my letter. My recommendation letter to you, right? So that's why I wanted to read it, because this is how I felt about that. And you see, so when you see a foreigner around you, check, what kind of people you are talking about, So don't jump to conclusions. Check what they've done. Think about what Hilton has done here, like all the efforts. Look at how much he brings to the local community. The guy is basically a semi celebrity in here, and making people it's okay. I can say that you can play humble, and I totally understand. I won't. This is what I feel, about both of you. I'm proud of both of you. I'm proud to
thank
be
you.
to have you both as friends. I learn every day, and I hope I also contribute a little bit. To you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right?
Sweet words.
Yeah, sweet words. Sometimes, right? Sometimes I have to do that. Okay, tell us now. Changing completed subjects. Tell us how you felt about the courts at the old Settlers. Your experience on the tennis courts and pickleball courts and the whole thing about the clay medicine and everything that you can do here in town.
That's just amazing. Like, not even just talking about Round Rock in general, but the U.S. in general. Like, thinking about how many tennis courts you have, public tennis courts, and not even just tennis, like any sports, like the availability you have to play sports. That's amazing compared to Brazil, yeah.
And it's affordable too.
Yeah, like, you can go and play golf. Like, you can play golf for like a reasonable price. You can go and play tennis on like basically public courts, like 17 courts in the same place.
Absolutely
never seen
packed.
that. I've never seen that. And they're all packed, like to the point that you go there and you gotta wait. Like, you're never gonna see that in Brazil. You're gonna see that maybe in a country club that has like just like associates. They're like paying a lot of money, and you're not gonna see
members.
So it's just amazing. It's just
Right.
like it's an experience that like I'll never expect that from the U.S. And that's literally what brings me to the U.S. And that's the reason I want to be in the U.S. I want to live in the U.S. Because even though like Brazil is amazing, it has like really good things, but I don't know, the infrastructure, like it's just different.
And you crossed the city to play tennis this week, right?
Yeah.
How was it, the experience of seeing how big the city is and playing in a different neighborhood, right? So
Yeah.
how did you feel about that? Was it interesting too?
Yeah, it was. It's interesting to see like how big Austin is, like how big it is, and how it grow to the sides, and like it's just amazing. Like, it's amazing to go and see. Like, come on, I played on courts that I would say are better than 95% of the courts I played on college, and like we're talking about people, like college putting money and doing things, and I was just playing in a neighborhood with people that like maybe don't even play that high of a level, but they're still there and the courts are amazing. So it's just so nice to see that like Americans are putting the money and the time to put sports, to play sports, and like to be healthy and like be outside. So I don't know, I just love the support that the sports have.
And it changes the dynamics too. It changes a lot the dynamics of how people interact. Instead of only focusing on going to shopping malls or going to go to parties, now sports are actually a way to socialize and interact.
Yeah,
I think. Sorry to interrupt, but I think one of the things that it makes it easy for us to understand why, when you go to Olympic Games, most of the top athletes here in the U.S. and even like the other nations' top athletes, the Brazilians, and they train. They live in the U.S. They train in the U.S.
Yeah.
And then they are the top of the country, but they are not in their country exercising the practice of that sport because they are here in the U.S. The U.S. is the pinnacle of the sport because there is investment in the sport, and then you can see that it's not only clubs. It costs money though if you join a club if you really want to be a professional and stuff. But it's not only that. It's like even public, courts. Like there are 2 tennis courts in my neighborhood, including the HOA. You know what I mean? That I can just go and beat the gate and I come in.
Yeah.
And I can play tennis over there, right? Although I'm not a really good tennis player, but it's there, it's available. So anyone that wants to develop their game, there is a basketball court in elementary school,
Yeah.
And then you see a lot of the kids that they live in my neighborhood, for example. They go to elementary school in there, and then once they go to middle school now, but they still live in that same neighborhood, they just go and play basketball on the court that has in the elementary school.
Yeah.
On the little park, which has 2 tennis courts, has a playground for kids, has a basketball court, and then you can play. You can practice somehow. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And it's free. You just go and there's nobody there. I'm just gonna bring my ball and then gonna start
Yeah.
throwing the ball to the net and see what happens.
And also, like, I want to make a question for you, actually. So, there's a lot of the social aspect of the game, of the sports. And, like, how would you compare, for example, taking, like, on a one-on-one, taking them... I know you play squash, so how would you compare, like, taking them to play squash and, like, having an activity to comparing, like, going for dinner, having something more formal? Like, could you say that makes a difference in networking?
I had one squash game that I played with a friend of mine. Is in the networking sphere. He's one of my vendors, so he supplies dumpster to all my jobs, and even here to in my warehouse to haul the trash away. And it creates a bond. It creates friendship. And you know that you're playing over there. You're just playing a sport, and then you see also that person is not trying to steal a point from you, or you're not trying to steal a point from them, and then that person is honest. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the sport aspect of things, says a lot about a person.
Yeah.
So when you try to play, even if like a snooker, right? So
Yeah.
if you're gonna play a snooker in a bar with someone, you see, the person is not. You see the quality of the person itself. You see
The true
you see
colors.
The true colors. You see the inner side of that person, which is it's incredible. That's how we base the people that you want to be around you. You
Yeah.
know, it's in any single moment that you meet a person, is doing something like
And
that.
Hilton, there is a friend who says that the best way to hire someone would be, like if you pick up ask a person to pick you up in the middle of a traffic jam while he's driving in the traffic jam. So you do the interview while the guy drives, So then
Oh,
you see the
that's-
way the guy would do, right?
Yeah, that's something. Yes, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with that, right? So
Is that a segue?
yeah, it's a
for us?
segue for us for sure.
All right. Thank you very much for watching once more. And Arthur, thank you for being part of us now.
Yeah.
And I really wish you all the success in the world. And I'm just waiting, the same as you are, on your permission to start actually working and developing your own economy.
Yeah.
And creating a family around us here.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it'll be awesome, man.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to you guys for, like, welcoming me and, like, helping me with all you guys are doing. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.